Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Hummel. It's the Tier 6 German SPG. It's located on the southeast spawn of Fjords, and this one is under the command of Wazwulf. Now he's got the top gun. That's the long barrel gun. It's 15cm howitzer capable of 600 alpha, penetrating 39mm of armour, and reload time normally around about 29.32 seconds. He's got 25.8, so he's knocked a few seconds off, 4 seconds off altogether. Okay, it's based on the Panzer IV with Panzer III running gear, so it's a Panzer IV with Panzer III running gear, and it was actually designed to be used counter battery. So whilst other German Arty like the Vespa and the Grilla were actually designed for counter personnel, it was the Hummel that was designed to knock out the Soviet Arty. Rounds out on the T50, and the first shot does 217 hit points of damage. I think that T52 made a bit of a mistake going up that rise, because he actually makes himself a much easier target by staying where he is at the moment. Although he is rocking backwards and forwards, he can also be seen by some of our teammates or some of the people actually down to the south, and they're able to get shots on him every time he pops out. There's a Panzer Selbstfahrerfährte 4C, which is the Death Toaster, and we're getting requests to shoot that guy because his 88mm gun is obviously causing problems for the guys down the south. It's a Tier 6 game with Tier 5 tanks in it. Okay, another target's turned up. It's at T52, and I think that's another T52 because I think they've got more than one. Or I know they've got more than one actually. And surprisingly, we can see from the team lists that the M10 RBFM on the enemy team is blue, which means that he's team killed. And of course, you know, team killing is very rare, so to do that, more than likely that guy actually did. I've deliberately caused the death of another teammate. I've pushed him out in fire in front of the enemy, or did something which caused him to kill another teammate. Very unusual to see those nowadays, because it's very difficult to actually team kill. Well, Wazwulf is trying to give them a little bit of encouragement. Not in the way I would normally say. You can see that in chat. He was making a few statements. Don't just sit there. Yeah, I think he's a bit peeved that most of his team just seems to be camping back at the cap area. Some of them are probably AFK. He's trying to get a shot on that T52 at the moment. You can see he's actually aiming to one side, but the vehicle wasn't turning. In fact, he's got that problem at the moment. I think he managed to get a hit there. His reticule was sitting off to one side. I don't know if you can see that, which is kind of unusual. He's aiming for a specific aim point, but the reticule appears to be over towards the left. Very, very odd indeed. Not sure why that's happening. Don't normally see that, but apparently he is aiming for that Panzer T25. Changing his aim now, going to the KV1, dialing in. Yeah, you can see the shells are actually going towards the KV1, even though the reticule is appearing slightly to the left. In fact, the aim point appears to be just outside the arc of fire. It's a 15-degree arc either side of the centre line. It's actually quite a good arc for a German SPG. 30 degrees overall. Going for the Jackson. Dialing in. Quite a long flight time for that shell. 3.1 seconds. And it doesn't look like he damaged the guy at all. Now having a go at the T52 again. That's the same guy he fired at the start of the game. And he's now one shot. So if he can land a round near that guy, he might kill him. Difficult to get him though while he's on the rise. Going for the KV1 instead. And he gets a splash. 120. The team's one up on the enemy at the moment. Oh, and he's just been hit by one of the enemy tanks. and it's the T-52, and he's actually gone to the corner, and he got spotted, and now he's being hit again. That's a 57mm round. That's 3 rounds have hit him. 3 rounds, and the T-52 appears to be coming this direction. And he wings the guy and tracks him. That T-52 is definitely causing us a problem. Hopefully our T-52 will finish him off with 1 shot. He does, yeah. 57mm gun. So we've taken 3 rounds from the enemy, and the guy was firing APCR, which is a bit wasteful because after all, just standard ordinary rounds, even HE rounds, will probably go through a Hummel's and misses the T-52. It's on top of the hill. I wonder if he was the one who actually spotted Wazwulf, and the T-52, the other one, managed to get into a position so he could shoot, but couldn't actually see him directly, and that's why he actually had to come closer. Well, he was coming closer anyway because he wanted to kill Wazwulf. T-52 up on the hill. Is that rocks are in the way at the moment. It's a difficult shot, but I think the other T-52 is going to die. Oh, now they're both low, but our guy managed to get the kill, but he's left himself on virtually no hit points, and that Jackson will easily take him out if he appears. Oh, good hit by Wazwulf. He fires around him for 272. And the Jackson's now stunned, so he's actually picking up stun assist, and I think the Jackson's going in for the kill. And the Jackson instead is the one killed, and it was the KV-1 who got him. Okay, so at the moment we can't see the enemy KV-1. They've only got 3 tanks left. The KV-1, the M10 RBFM, who we haven't seen from the start of the game, and I do wonder if that M10 RBFM is immobilized. He might be. He might be blue because he actually did an infraction this game, this part of the game. He might have pushed somebody off the bridge, and the other enemy is the gorilla. It is possible that the M10 RBFM pushed the M44 off the bridge. I didn't see the M44 killed. I didn't see when it happened. So it is possible that the M10 RBFM is at this moment immobilized. Well, the KV-1's taken a hit for 150. Now this is getting very curious because we can't see the M10 RBFM back at the enemy cap area. There goes the KV-1 taken out by our AMX ELC. The M10 has just killed our T-52, so he is, and he's just indicated where he thinks he is. He is over the bridge, and we can see that there is somebody in the water. It was one of the Artys. Yes, the M44 was pushed off the bridge by the M10 RBFM, who turned blue as a result of the guy drowning, and that's why he's blue. He's blue because he killed one of his own Arty, probably in a haste to get across the bridge, pushed the M44 off the bridge. He drowned in the water. The M10 turned blue, and he's been sitting there for the rest of the game. Long flight time for the shell. Oh, and a hit for 124. A 4-second flight time from one end of the map to the other, and the M10 kills another of our team, the AMX CLC Biz. The KV-2's hanging back because, of course, that M10 is lethal even at medium range. And it looks like the Jagdpanzer IV and the KV-1 are moving up. If Wazwulf can get a shot into the area, he might be able to disable that M10 long enough for the other tanks to get a shot in. They're indicating they think that the other Arty might be down by the water crossing. The Jagdpanzer IV might see him very shortly. Yes, he is down there. Look, spotted him. He's right up against the cliff, though. And I don't think that Wazwulf can get a shot at the gorilla right now, but he can get him if he goes into the gap, and he does. Long flight time and a hit. 107. It was a splash hit, but it did actually hit one of our teammates at the same time, the Jagdpanzer IV, but luckily it didn't do any damage. And they just killed the M10, which means that the game is over. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for Wazwulf of REBRN in the Hummel. Very good game indeed. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in that one. He managed to get 10, and he got a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team, at least 6 tanks, which was subsequently taken out by other teammates. And we can see the amount of damage he did there. So let's have a look at the team score. He didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the KV2 on the enemy team with 1,750. The second highest damage was the enemy T52, or one of them rather. I think that was the one who was active up on top of the hill, shooting from the top of the hill. The other one that came down south and tried to kill Wazwulf, he got taken out. He was a lot lower. He only got 361 there. But yes, this guy got second with 1,687. The third highest damage in the game was Wazwulf with 1,446. So not a bad game, third on damage. When it came to kills, the high scorer was the KV2R on our team with 4 kills in that one. 2 kills went to the Jagdpanzer IV, the KV1, T52, Type T34, and the T52 and KV2 on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, it was Wazwulf who did the most. 918 base on that one, 771 went to the KV2R, and 716 went to the KV1. So he did do well on XP, mainly because he got a lot of damage and a lot of damage assist as well at the same time. 13 shots fired, 4 direct hits, no penetrations but 10 splash. Damage of 1,446 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. 3 hits received, all from the T52, 57mm rounds slammed straight through the armour, and they were APCR as well, which was a bit overkill by the T52, but maybe that player doesn't really know what ammo he should be using in that vehicle. Yeah, a 57mm gun's got sizable penetration. You just don't need to use premium rounds. You can use standard rounds and they'll just carve straight through the enemy, even carving through the sides of KV1s and the like. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, none were killed, 70 hit points of damage assistance, but this is where he got the ace. 1,282 hit points of stun assist of 10 stuns. That's a decent score. Combine that with the actual damage he did, then yes, that's why you get an ace tanker. 31,918 credits for the game, 40,000 for completing a mission, and after repair and ammunition resupply, took away a profit of 72,968 credits. A good game in anyone's book. 918 XP times 2 for the first victory, 3,443 from personal missions payout, and took away 6,197 experience points altogether. This was a really great game. You know, Hummel masters or ace tankers are actually, well, they're not difficult to get if you use the right gun, but they're difficult if you actually use the top gun. It's much easier for you to get more damage on the enemy with the stock gun than it is with the top gun, but the top gun does allow you to fire over the entire length of the battlefield. If Wazwulf had used the stock gun, he wouldn't have been able to fire shots at the far end of the map and actually hit that Grilla and also the M10 RBFM the way he did. So using the top gun actually worked for him in this game. I still think I would have preferred using the stock gun because I know the accuracy of that gun. I guess it's just the fact that the Fjords map is not very conducive to using long-range Arty because of the fact that it's got the trajectory. Those hills are in the way most of the time when you're on this battlefield, and so you have to motor around the battlefield just to get the right fields of fire so you can shoot at the enemy, especially if they're guarding their cap area, as that M10 RBFM was. But he was able to loop the shells right the way over the top of the mountain to get at those guys, and it paid off for him. So well done to Wazwulf. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And please do let other people know that our channel exists and that we've got another channel called The General, where you can watch great replays without any commentary, but they're always pulls, medals or collar ban offs. Thanks for watching.